The Accountant 2 is a sequel to The Accountant, once again starring Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal. In this movie, Ben Affleck's mentor, played by J.K. Simmons, he gets taken out very quickly by some group of people who are up to something really bad. The FBI is doing some serious investigation into it, and they discover that this is leading to something that's much bigger than what the assassination on J.K. Simmons was. So an FBI agent enlists the help of the accountant. He quickly realizes he's going to need a little bit of help in this matter himself, so he enlists the help of his brother, played by Jon Bernthal, to come help him. And now it's an investigation action movie with the two brothers. I enjoyed The Accountant when it first came out like 8 years ago now. I can't believe it took that long to make a sequel. I mean, I know it was marketed to be like another John Wick-ish type of movie where, you know, you have this guy, he seems a little bit different, but he has a very particular set of skills, and, you know, he's very good at killing people and figuring out stuff because of what he can do. And I know enough people liked it, enough people went and saw it, so kind of surprised it took this long to get a sequel, but here we finally are. I will say, Ben Affleck is really, really good in this role, because what I really like seeing with him is he does show the very autistic side of his character very much in this movie. Like his social cues, the way he talks to people. Like there's one scene in particular, he's like on a speed date with some women, he's asking some questions, and they're kind of uncomfortable with him because they don't really know how to respond, because that's not typically how you talk to people, certainly not in the romantic sense. Like he's extremely skilled at what he does, he's incredible at cracking codes and working through numbers and, you know, assassinating people, but he's not particularly socially skilled, and as a result of that, it makes him very difficult to work with and talk to, and I appreciate seeing that. I thought it was a good representation to what some people with autism deal with. And on the other side, you do quickly see what he's really good at. The coding, how he's able to work his way through this investigation, how he's able to just decipher things that certain people can't. But even in this one, the lady who like is kind of his partner that talks him through the computer, she's got like a group of autistic kids that kind of serve these hackers now that help him out through the mission. I thought that was interesting. He's got like a team of autistic people who are extremely skilled in coding and computers, kind of like him, that he's giving them a way through life, a way to help him through this mission. I liked that. I gotta say, what is the selling point of this movie? What absolutely drives this movie so far home for me? I thought Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal's chemistry in this movie was fucking awesome. I don't know if these two have been in a lot of movies together. I don't know if they've ever been in a movie together before, but after seeing this movie, I hope they decide to work together more, because again, their chemistry was just off the charts. Because not only did they feel like brothers, they felt like brothers with a bit of, you know, tension between the two of them. Like, they are a bit estranged. Like, there are times, like, they're both getting a little bit more heavy with one another. You know, one's trying to understand the other, and they can't really. And it's a little bit frustrating. You know, some people might have a family member that they want to connect with more, but they just can't. And this movie did a really good job at playing off that. And not even just that, the way they communicate with each other, the way they mess with each other, you feel a little bit of that brother instinct, how they mess with each other, they want to fight with each other. It makes for some really funny moments because they're just relatable. Like, honest to God, there was one scene in particular, it might have been my favorite moment in the entire movie. The two of them are at a bar, and Ben Affleck is attempting to square dance, and his brother's like, oh, no fucking way, let's go. He's like rooting for him, cheering him on. He's maybe flirting with a girl a little bit. It was a really nice moment. It couldn't help but put a smile on your face. You couldn't help but be rooting for them. You couldn't help but be laughing because it just made you feel good. It was awesome, and that's credit that goes to their chemistry. And yeah, how's the action in this movie? I thought the action was a really good time. There's not a lot of really epic kill shots necessarily, but, you know, when the shootouts are going down, when people are trying to avoid one another, or it's like, you need to stay hidden or you're gonna die, or, you know, some fights between certain characters go down, it's undeniably very entertaining. Ironically, again, not as entertaining as the banter between Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal, which is kind of the very surprising part of this movie, but very entertaining nonetheless. As far as flaws in this movie go, I wasn't as connected or as engaged in the investigation in this movie as I was in the last one. Because for me, in the first account, the mission that they're on, the situations that they're trying to uncover, it felt like something only the accountant could uncover. The plot was a lot more cryptic, what they had to figure out was a lot more complicated, you know, he felt just really like the only person who could handle it because of what he could do. In the first one, it kind of made the accountant a little bit like this, I don't want to say superhero, but this, you know, highly skilled person that you believe only he could do something like this. Like the kind of character that you believe not only would exist in a John Wick universe, but could even give someone like John Wick a fight, or, you know, a good parallel. I'm not saying you don't see his skill set in this movie, but in this one, the investigation just didn't feel as complex. It didn't feel as involved. I didn't care as much about it. And speaking of which, there's a villain character in this movie that is kind of made out like the assassin, like they're trying to bring down, like this person's the one that's behind this whole thing. And they do something with this character that kind of makes them a little bit more of a tragic character, and I get where the movie's going with it. But once you uncover the tragedy behind this character, I just didn't care for this character as much as I wanted to, as much as the movie wanted me to. And part of me wonders, I don't know if that's just a reflection on the fact that Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal are by far the two characters you care about the most in this movie. I mean, their dynamic with the FBI agent, like the mission that they're on, ironically, you're never as involved with that as you are with their relationship. And part of me thinks that's a great quality in the movie, that these two characters carry this movie that fucking hard. But I also think it's a little bit of a detriment in the fact that not much else in the movie could quite stack up to that. So all in all, The Accountant 2, it was a fun watch, undeniably so. Ben Affleck's great in this movie. I love seeing them expand more on his autism and, his skills that make him, excellent in this sort of investigation. I like seeing the team that's actually behind him in this one. Jon Bernthal was great in this movie, delivers some hilarious one-liners. Again, the chemistry between him and Ben Affleck, fantastic. I really genuinely hope these two do more movies together because they really do work well together. You can feel it through the screen. There was no fakeness here. The two of them crushed it. The action's fun. It's not an overabundance of it, so it makes you appreciate it a little bit more when it does happen. I wish I was a little bit more involved with the story. I wish I cared a little bit more about certain characters that the movie wanted me to care about. But in the end, if you were a fan of the first Accountant, you'll be a fan of this one too. And frankly, if it means Ben Affleck and Jon Bernthal will team up again for a third one, I'm not opposed to that. So you know what, for those reasons, I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10, which makes it worth going to the movies for.
All right, come on, hurry up, Brian. I don't want to miss the movie trivia slides before the movie.
So that's all I gotta say, guys. Thank you so much for watching my video, and as always, don't forget to leave a comment, like, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time.